What?
And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner!
Who gives a shit about where the ball's been?
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I love it because it tells you how the game was played.
There's nowhere for him to go. Literally, I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team. Do I look like I'm freaking kidding?
He does things that are absolutely insane.
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the weekly recap from We Are Soccer. Woo! You can imagine why I'm happy. Aston Villa are now ruling the world. You're welcome. The best club in the world. Well, maybe let's not go that far. Yes. Wednesday, Manchester United took down the mighty Man City 1-0 in a stunning performance. I'm going to use a lot of adjectives on that one. Just dominated, absolutely dominated Man City. We'll get to that a little bit. This past weekend, yesterday, Aston Villa beat Arsenal 1-0 at Villa Park. So two of the biggest teams in the Premiership have now fallen at the hands of my club. We are playing very good football at the moment. It's very fun. But we'll talk about how we expect that to continue. We got a lot more to get to. We're talking Columbus Crew as they are the 2023 MLS champions. We're talking Bayern Munich getting thumped 5-1 at the hands of Eintracht Frankfurt. We had a little bit we want to delve into there. We're talking about Chelsea losing, Man United losing, Newcastle losing. Some results that we just did not see coming this weekend. All right, lots to get to as we talked about. It's me here. I've got Nate Brooks. Nate, how are you, buddy? Doing all right?
Oh, yeah, just spectacular, Everything's awesome in my world.
Well, I mean...
Oh, congratulations on your... it's always funny when, if the club that you watch, the team that you're like, congratulations. You're like, yes, thank you. I worked hard on this.
Yes.
Without me sitting on my couch on a weekly basis, they surely wouldn't have reached the heights that they've come to. Or, when they do bad, they're like, hey, man, really sorry.
Yeah, it's like a death sentence. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big loss for me and completely ruined my day.
Weekend.
Yeah. Never will recover emotionally.
I've got a buddy who every time I see him, he goes, so how are we doing? How are we doing?
Yeah.
And I know he's referring to Aston Villa, and he's not a Villa fan, but he says, how did we do this week?
Or when you talk about the team and we just got to do this or we got to do that.
Yeah,
it's
It's pretty funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what can you do?
Well, one of your teams.
Which one?
Stuttgart.
Yay!
Hey, they're flying high.
Yeah.
I mean, the other two, well, one's done now. Cincy, right? FC Cincy, we know they lost last week. So
They
they're
did?
done. They did, yes.
No, they didn't.
A little bit.
Nope.
No. Okay. And then, unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about Man United. They didn't play too well this weekend.
Never heard of them.
Exactly.
Is that a League 2 team?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
It is.
How are they doing? Are they coming up? Them and Wrexham playing soon?
They could be. They absolutely could be the way they're going at this point. Anyway, but yeah, man, we're going to get to a bunch of that. Brooks, how are you, my friend? Hi.
Oh, as Nate says, I'm pretty good.
You're real sexy with that microphone there. You're
Thanks, Nate. Thanks. Yeah. It's been busy with finalizing this stuff for the Midwest Pro Combine, working on that, emailing players and make sure they get all their stuff in and getting the coaches to coach the combine and whatnot. So it's been busy weekend. It was fun playing some 6v6 soccer with Craig on Friday night and meeting his friends. That was nice out of our Total Soccer West there. So
how many goals did you score?
I didn't score any, but
How many goals did Craig score?
2.
I think I had 1 or 2, yeah.
How many shirts were taken off by Craig?
None.
Yeah.
None.
There's this one goal where they had scored on us, and then Craig was like, I'm going to get back one because I didn't track back and defend and get him. So he just kind of weaved through people and just blasted in the back of the net.
I felt bad. Yeah, I definitely got a little lazy, and the guy I was marking went around me, and yeah, I didn't track back, and he scored, so I felt pretty bad.
I had a couple chances, though. I just couldn't put it away.
Yeah.
So
When do you ever track back?
I know. This is
I
true.
thought your
Well,
defense was to then get the ball and just go score another goal.
This is true. Not to disparage the other team. This isn't the greatest league. It's just a fun league, and I usually play a little bit of defense in those leagues. I play in the back so I can control a little bit more of it.
What?
Just not goalie.
I know. Yeah,
Wait,
don't
what?
put me
You
in
do
goalie.
what?
Yeah, I know. I
No.
know.
He builds out of the back.
What?
I
I
know.
know.
It's bizarre. I was.
Are you playing a 4-4-2 as well?
Yeah, pretty close.
Nice.
So, all right. Yep, we played a little soccer. Did a lot there. But let's jump in. A lot of soccer happened. I know a lot of soccer happened last week, during the week, that we haven't talked about. As I said, Aston Villa beat Man City 1-0 at Villa Park. So Villa Park has become a fortress after this weekend's game. It's 15 games unbeaten. Last time we were beaten at Villa Park, February, by Arsenal in a 4-2 comeback win by them. It's impressive what Aston Villa are doing right now. I'll be very honest. I did not see this coming. It is it's ahead of schedule, if I'm being honest. I don't see it being sustainable. They absolutely dominated Man City to the point where Man City had 2 shots, 2 in the entire game. Villa, more shots, more passes, more everything. I think actually City outpossessed us, but that doesn't matter. Defensively, just organized going forward. When we won the ball, we exploded with speed, and Man City struggled, absolutely struggled. Did the same against Arsenal, but I think Arsenal were a little bit more prepared after watching us play against Man City. So that Arsenal-Villa game yesterday afternoon, Arsenal, I thought they had some real good chances. They were a little unlucky on the ball they put in the back of the net. VAR brought it back, luckily for my Villa. And we ended up winning 1-0 in the end. Very nice goal by John McGinn, Captain John McGinn, his work rate is incredible. Now, yes, Aston Villa, you would think, by the way I'm talking, are first in the league, but they're not. Liverpool are first, Arsenal are second, Villa third, Man City fourth. Man City had to pull out a win today in the dying, let's say late in the second half, 2-1 over Luton Town. Yeah, listen, there's some struggles ahead. There's a couple of teams struggling right now, as we've seen. There's some struggles ahead for Villa. I will guarantee that. I don't think what we're doing right now is sustainable. The work rate we have cannot continue when you play Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. It's hard to do. Impressive though, right? Impressive, boys. I mean, you must say it's.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone, I think, Craig, when we were talking about, top 6, and being in like that 6th spot we were saying,
Yeah.
I was thought my Seagulls maybe would just, kind of be in that, kind of like competing in that area, but unfortunately it's kind of not gone their way as of late, but they're still in the top 10. But, they're overachieving right now. And the question is, can they sustain that, like you just said? And I don't know, Nate, what do you think?
You're excited, aren't you?
No. Yes.
Yeah.
But also, I'm a very realistic Aston Villa fan, and I've seen this happen before on a couple occasions. So.
Well, it's funny.
We like realism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe Sir Alex Ferguson called Villa being the most informed team. They keep playing that cup like weeks ago.
Yeah. It was after week 1, actually. It was. He said he was the most impressed by Aston Villa, even though they got pounded 5-1 by Newcastle that week.
Yep. And well, the guy knows his game, and he called it. It'll be interesting how they go down the stretch. I think, for me, and I was saying it for a while. Well, they didn't beat anyone. Well, they have now. You know what I mean? So it's fair to say, and it's a similar. There's another team that I'm sure we could talk about later, where I was saying the same thing, even just on my side. Well, they haven't really beaten anyone. They got thumped by a top 4 team. They really haven't done much. Well, not anymore. You know what I mean? So it's kind of but this is why you support teams like this. You know what I mean? Like people are, why do you support Stuttgart? Why do you support Villa? Well, on the off chance that they start doing well, then it's like, I hate to say it's a payoff, but it kind of is. You know what I mean? Like when you're with a team so long and they struggle, and then you see them start doing well. It's nice, isn't it? It's great to see, and it's fun to be a part of, and it makes you feel good and gives you warm tingly. It's all over.
Yes, absolutely. I've also
Or was that the vodka you were drinking?
that was definitely the vodka last night as well. But I also have learned a couple of lessons in my years, and I'm not going to do the "I told you so" because you know what? There's still 23 matches left.
There's still a lot to go.
A lot of soccer left.
Still a lot to go, but I think on their pace, and I think if you could beat a City, and I think you can beat Aston Villa, I think you're definitely a top 5 contender.
Yeah.
Contender for sure. Yeah, I was listening to Sirius XM yesterday morning, or was it this morning? I can't remember now. And a lot of them were putting Villa as a title contender, and I said, "Whoa, hold your horses there, my friends."
Yeah, pump the
Whoa.
brakes on that one. But
Yeah, I will say a contender to be in the top 4 the way we're going.
Yeah.
But where we have been lucky is we haven't had big, major injuries. We haven't had major suspensions yet.
Last year.
Yeah, we have been pretty lucky. That can't happen for a 38-game season, right? That doesn't. The only time I think I've ever seen that happen is a couple of years ago when Liverpool won it. They managed to keep everybody healthy, and they managed to be in every competition. I kept saying the whole year, this is not sustainable. Liverpool are going to suffer some injuries or some suspensions, and this will drop off, and it didn't. I don't see that happening this year because, one, there's been a lot of football played through the summer in all the competitions. With all the matches, Villa don't exactly have the strongest squad in the world either. The starting 11 and then another 1 or 2, yes, bingo, great players, great set. But after that, you get a little worried. I can name you 2 players who, if they go down injured right now, we're going to struggle no matter who we play. You know, Emi Martinez is called upon on a game, every game to make a big save. Usually, 99% of the time, he makes those. He did not make those when we went to Nottingham Forest, and we were beaten 2-0 at the hands of Nottingham Forest. He played well when we went to Bournemouth. We tied 2-2 against Bournemouth. We had to come back and get that draw, so we were down. Now listen, yeah. I'm not getting too caught up in it. It's great to be where we're at. I'm very happy. It makes for a great week when we're talking about this stuff, but there's a long way to go.
Yeah, but if you look at the run of games that they have, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's the next matches here?
Zariski Monster. You're gonna lose.
Yeah,
That's so outside of that one, which is definitely gonna be a loss because they are the powerhouses of. Hold on.
Croatia.
No, Bosnia.
Oh, Bosnia.
Yeah, Hargrove. Whatever. So yeah, no, but you look at the Premier League games. You got Brentford, right? At Brentford, I think it's a win. You know, Sheffield United.
You should be good.
Comes to Villa. That's probably going to be a win. You go to Manchester United. Sorry, it's probably going to be a win. You know, you go to Burnley, or Burnley comes to you. That's going to be a win. You go to Everton. That'll be a weird one.
Everton playing well right now.
Everton's
right?
playing well.
Everton doing well. But the game you mentioned, Man United, that's at Old Trafford.
I don't care.
And we'll talk.
I don't care.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the game that happened at Old Trafford.
It's probably a W. I'm sorry. It's probably a W. So, okay. Let's moving on. Right?
He's accepting.
Do not correct me, Craig. I believe I said a W.
You did.
I'll take the W.
Okay? Danny?
Yeah, hey, wait.
Man, you're doing what he did to you last week.
Where is Danny? Did he?
All right. Joke's on the audience. Danny and I are really the same person. We've been doing split screens the whole time. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the magic of Hollywood, as they say.
But I mean,
soccer.
you know, going back to the football, I mean, honestly, you go all the way to maybe March 9th where you play Tottenham. You know, that's the only real team that I see that would have a chance of putting, like, outside of, okay, oops, you know, a slip up here, a banana peel.
Oh, you never know with Fulham.
Fulham.
You never know. There could be a banana peel there anywhere. Like United could beat you when you go to United. I'm just saying, if you look at the teams in the current form that you have in front of them, you went through your hard.
We went through the tough part of the schedule,
already, and now it's going to be like easy sailing a little bit, and we'll see how that goes.
The problem is Villa on the road has not been great this year. A couple of losses, a couple of draws.
You'll be
lost to Liverpool, lost to Newcastle.
Well, you have Newcastle on the 30th. Don't forget too.
Yeah, so
that'd be tough.
With the way Newcastle are playing right now, I'll definitely take them playing them right now. Yeah,
sure.
And I wouldn't worry about United at home. I mean, if Copenhagen could do it, so can you.
Copenhagen or
Bournemouth?
Bournemouth. We'll get to that in a little bit.
They're a powerhouse, though.
They are a powerhouse. Actually,
Got that symbol with the guy in the head and the ball.
yeah.
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 Yeah, it's
It's you?
powerhouse of Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You want to know Arsenal's next schedule?
to be honest, though, Bournemouth have been playing pretty well as of late.
Oh,
so,
stop it.
I'm not. Yeah,
No,
I know.
No, stop it. Like, it's like, it's like it's like watching me play like offense. Like, well, he almost got a good goal. That was almost a nice shot. Good job there, buddy. Keep going. Yay. Quick, somebody ping the ball off his foot so it goes in and so he stops crying.
That's funny. Yeah, give us Arsenal's next run of games there, Brooks.
Yeah, so December 12th, they're playing PSV. And then the
Champions League, yep.
17th, we have them playing My Seagulls.
And Brighton
win.
are not exactly playing well at the moment. A little
Correct.
slump in form. Yep.
Yes, correct. Then they play on the 23rd, they play Liverpool.
Okay.
That's a loss.
That's gonna be a great game. 2 days before Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, I see Liverpool winning that one for sure. In the form that they're in.
Yep.
But that 2 days before Christmas. So that is the Saturday.
Yes, the Saturday. Yep,
'Cause
12:30
Christmas on
kickoff.
Monday, yeah. So 12:30 kickoff.
Yep.
Lovely.
And then we have Arsenal West Ham on the 28th. And
Okay,
then to
well-
finish out December, Fulham and Arsenal.
Okay, so Arsenal don't have the toughest schedule in the world. That Liverpool one is probably their toughest one. And Fulham right now are in a pretty good run of form. I think they've won 2 games in a row, 5-0.
Let's be honest. Your goal is not to win the league right now. I mean, your goal is to finish like top 4.
For the
That's
Villa? Oh,
That'd
absolutely.
be an
Yeah.
amazing
Oh, yeah.
achievement.
At Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that way Villa and Stuttgart can play and,
And again, Villa,
debate.
Villa Stuttgart play in Champions League, Nate.
Yep, we're
We're
there.
going.
Oh, all right,
We're
there.
going.
We're gonna do the slingshot. We're gonna see him at Stuttgart, so that way we can go to the bathroom and pee and watch the game at the same time,
Yep.
and carry 6 beers and 2 hands.
Yes.
So
Triple fisting.
hey, man. Full disclosure: reason why I wasn't here is two of my friends from the team I used to play for. We were playing right down there the other day.
Ah.
So came in, gave me a scarf. So I still got friends down there.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Hey, we may need to crash on some couches in Germany, my friend, because
No problem.
if Villa make Champions League and if Stuttgart make Champions League next year, we are headed to Germany and to England to watch
Just
those
close your
matches.
eyes, Craig. Close your eyes. It's a crisp
I don't know.
Tuesday evening in Stuttgart. The beer is flowing
Flowing.
through the streets.
Few comments.
Hold on, I'm not done.
Sorry.
Match is about to kick off game 1. A tie, so that way both of them get results.
So we can both get a point. And we can
Yeah,
go
we
to
high
and
five
be
each
happy
other.
and high
Yeah,
five.
yeah. All right, go ahead. now.
Dreaming, my friend. We
Okay.
are in dreamland.
Yes.
Okay. So Brian Hanna.
Yeah, Brian Hanna.
Hanna?
Big Villa fan, Brian.
Yes, he says, we're not a title contender. If we're still in or around top 4 in March, I'll start dreaming of Champions League nights, but a long way to go.
Long way to go. See, another realistic Villa fan. We've been here before. We've played this game before, friends.
Michael Tyson, can you guys zoom out the camera? Craig's head is soaring high with those Aston Villa dubs.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Hey, listen, you Mike Tyson's he's a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
You guys are top of the table right now. You are top of the table. Let's go ahead and bring that table up. Let's take a quick look. I do have it in here somewhere. Give me a second. Here we go. There you are, Liverpool. After 16 games, 37 points, first. Arsenal second, only by behind there. 11 wins, just like Liverpool. There's Villa also with 11 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws on 35 points. Sorry, it's highlighted in yellow. Man City down to 4th after 16 games, 10 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. Plus 20 goal difference, but man, oh man, on 33 points, they're 4 points out of first.
When was the last time they've been out of the top 3?
After we'll say the 10th week of a season, it's been a long time, my friend. It has been a long time. And Newcastle with their win today over, Tottenham with their win today over Newcastle in 5th on 30 points, and Man United in 6. So we'll talk about them. It is probably not the greatest weekend for Man United fans, but it's not all doom and gloom. You're on 27 points with 9 wins. No draws. No draws. How do you have no draws out of 16 games?
We don't believe in them.
Don't believe. It's winner. It's all or nothing.
Yeah, you see
all or nothing.
You're the first or last.
Yeah.
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby go there, yeah. And then there's Newcastle running out the top 7 on 26 points, and they've hit a little bit of a slump recently. They're running into some issues, goalkeeper issues as well. Dubravka, their goalkeeper, is the backup and now in to be the starter because Pope is out with a dislocated shoulder, which he did last week. So he'll be a couple of months before he comes back. And then 8th, you've got Brighton Hove Albion on 26 points. Brighton, listen, another little slump there. It's as we said at the beginning of the season, you know, it can't last forever with them. They have a great little business model. I don't want to say little and disparage them in any way, but they've got a great business model. It's not essentially winning the league. That's not their object. That's not their point. They play to buy players low and sell them high and make money. They're slumping at the moment. We'll see how long if they can last in this top 10. And then 9th, West Ham, who got thumped by Fulham today, who are in 10th right behind them. Let's read off some of the scores that happened this weekend, fellas. Let me get back to my sheet here.
While you're doing that, can we track back to United just for half a tick?
Yeah,
Not
go
stay
for
there
it.
forever.
Go
but
for
just
it.
live in misery for a minute.
Go for it.
So you posted something online. You're like, hey, somebody check on the United fans, right? Yeah. Yeah, you know.
I mean, hey. Yeah,
But what was my comment?
I can't remember off the
I
top of my
literally
head.
said I don't care.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember
I
that.
said I don't care.
Yes.
And I walked into some other people, you know, at that futsal today. They're like, oh, man, this should be the sad quarter. I go, no, I don't care. And they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, I don't care. Because here's the reality. There are players on that team that probably shouldn't even play in the Premier League. Okay, let's take Villa, your top 4 team. Hey, Craig, would you, in any feasible situation, start Anthony Martial, the Canadian?
Martial. No.
Canadian.
No,
Can you think of any situation where you'd have to do that?
No.
Cool.
No, I would not.
Would you, I don't know, look at Anthony? Not a big fan of him, right? Would you start him? Is he a
I
starter
would
for you?
not, in any way, shape, or form, start that man. I would not have him anywhere near my club. I think he tries to work hard, but
How about Shaw as a center back? How about Johnny Evans?
Johnny Evans, no. Shaw as a center back, no. As a left back, yes, but he wouldn't beat
As
out.
a left back,
wouldn't
yeah.
beat out anybody I've got right now.
And so, yeah, they got injuries and all that. That's
Yeah,
fine. But here's the reality is this squad's full of players that are just garbage. It is. And it's not, we're not going to stay here that long because we all know this. So at the end of the day, when I look at it and you have your starting team come out, because that was more of the starting team that played against Chelsea on Wednesday,
Yeah.
looked phenomenal.
Yeah,
They're
by the way,
great.
yeah, I mean,
They're great.
night and day, dominate Chelsea,
so-
look really good, and then come out.
But
today.
hold on, what do you have to do? Like you can't have the same squad running ragged every single day, right?
Right.
You got to make a couple subs,
Right.
and that's what he did.
Yep.
And the guys he brought in, because you have a limited roster,
Yep.
right? And maybe they should just in the U17 pool or something. Brooks would get excited.
Ooh.
Like,
I
but
would.
seriously, like if you don't
better
have
than anything else, right?
if you don't have a center back, screw it.
Yeah.
You lose 3-0 with Shaw as a center back, or you lose 4-0. What's the difference?
Nothing really. Nothing really.
You know, you lose 3-0 with Montreal playing forward, or you lose 4-0 with him playing forward.
Right.
And you brought in a 17-year-old. Who cares?
Yeah.
So it's like, and yeah, I get it. They spent money, and yeah, I get it. But it's some of the guys that you would expect to perform are not performing. Some of the guys have been there for years. Apparently, have had issues for years.
Yep.
And it's all coming out now.
Well,
and
let's-
it's clear where the issues are.
Let's delve in a little bit. So yes, Manchester United lost at home 3-0 yesterday in one of the earlier kickoffs. So it was not a good showing at all. I read a couple of things online from some United fans that said, well, we dominated the game, we just didn't put the ball in the back of the net, and we struggled defensively. For me, I can see where they're coming from when they say that. As a United fan, I can see that there's passing, there's some possession, there's this. But if you watch the game as a whole, in no point do you say there is a distinct pattern of play that United have and are trying to put together to win this game. And I've been saying that for months now. Like, there's no distinct style. There's no pattern that you can go, okay, I can see what they are trying to do. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. There's not. I don't want to. Sorry, Nate. Give me 1 second.
Sorry.
I don't want to blame the manager. I did blame the manager at the beginning of the season. I don't want to blame the manager anymore. I think he may have lost some of these players because, Nate, they're just not good enough. This is the worst version of Man United. And again, listen, I don't care. This isn't my club. So please don't look at it like I'm saying this to disparage you or in any way. But Man United in the 2000s were, and before, always had some of the best players, the best quality players, the best. You could tell what they were doing. You had players who were putting in an effort and really, really playing for the shirt and the massive, massive club that they're playing for. The players that are on the pitch now for Manchester United do not seem to understand the history of the club, do not seem to really be putting in an effort. When things are going bad, they don't dig their heels in. They look at each other and point and blame, and it's just, this is the worst version of Man United I think I've ever seen. Brooks?
Well, it's like last week when Danny was here, and I'm going to throw this question to Nate, too, is I think it's your international to domestic ratio and for certain aspects, but I also think it's the domestic players, like we agreed, Craig, just not having the grit as the other former domestic Man United, whether they're homegrowns and academy players and, just English national.
I would love.
I don't know. What do you think?
I want Nate to. And then if there's anybody, is it because they don't have enough English players? Or British players, right? That British down and dirty, gritty player. Is it because of that, Nate? We kind of touched on it a little bit
No,
last week.
I disagree because when you look at better clubs, they don't have a lot of English players, and Villa being part of them.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
But and I look at that, neither does United. They don't. They don't have. You look at their players. You can go up and down the list. Fernandez, not English. Anthony, not English. Garnacho, came of the system, not really English, but okay, I'll give you that one maybe.
Yep.
Aaron Bat, not English. Montreal, not English. Reguilón, not English.
But what we're saying is
not English.
What we're saying is if they had more English players, more
Yeah.
Luke Shaw, more Harry Maguire,
Like gritty.
And by the way, Harry Maguire, November's Premier League Player of the
Still
Month.
disagree with that because Man City doesn't have a lot of. You look at some of their best players.
Yeah, that's actually a great counterpoint.
Fair.
That's a great.
Yeah.
And
You
so
look at
does Arsenal.
Liverpool's.
Arsenal doesn't have a ton of English players
That's
either.
true.
So
Look at
you're actually
Liverpool's,
right.
Liverpool's best players aren't English. And
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to players that want to be there.
Yeah.
Players that have adapted to a culture. I read something out of Sir Alex Ferguson's book that always stuck with me, and he said he would take a gritty player that will work hard over a talented player any day.
Mhm.
And you look at some of those players, and not to take away for some of the players that he had in the last cup that he won, but Rafael de Silva, the De Silva brothers.
Yeah, my
it's
word. I remember there was an article on one of them
like,
recently. Yeah.
Yeah, but they worked hard. You know what I mean? And he won a cup with them playing regularly.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge difference. Even Nani. I mean, he worked hard for him. He worked hard for him.
Right.
He did what he had to do.
Right now, in the game this weekend for Man United against Bournemouth, that first goal, there was a giveaway. Aaron Bat, I thought turned slowly, didn't track back quick enough, and sure enough, the ball's fired in and a great goal. I believe it was Solanke or Philip who got that goal, but it just looked like there's not enough effort.
Yeah.
And again, it's just this is the worst version of United I've seen, and I think it's unfortunately the easy answer. If they don't win, if they don't pick up a couple of points here pretty quickly, then a drop in the league, and unfortunately, there'll be one person who pays the price for it. And I don't think it should be that person. I don't think it should be Erik ten Hag who pays the price for it. I think it should be these players because they're not putting in a good effort.
Yes. So yeah, we have so Danny's watching. Hi, Danny.
Hey, Danny. How
Hope
are
you're
you, buddy?
enjoying sunny Florida.
Where
So,
is he in here somewhere?
Yeah, no, Danny's in Florida. He's coaching Super Y.
You know what? I'm really excited
Kind of
that
miss him today. Yeah.
I'm really excited that his parents are actually in Florida.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
Yeah, that's awesome,
I am
man.
Your adopted family.
I am pumped because apparently they're coming up to Michigan.
Yes. Did we
And
get to meet them?
And I
Yes.
flat out, no, you don't.
Oh,
And I flat out said, Danny, can we go out, like, just go to lunch or dinner sometime? Because I got a lot of vacation time going on. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So I'm like super pumped because we're gonna go. I'm gonna meet the fam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny, it is awesome that his family is there.
Yeah.
Flying over here from England to meet up with him in Florida, spend some time.
yes.
Watch him do a little coaching there, and then they're coming over here. So, but yeah, we miss you, Danny.
He's commenting though. He's got a comment. He says, "United are awful. I hate your optimism, Nate."
Why would he say United is good?
Oh, sorry.
He said a good word.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Hey, button man. Just
Sorry.
chill, just give it a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's where I don't care because I look at the team and I'm like,
Yeah.
and honestly, it's not going to be. You need to sell. Sorry.
I think now, not to. I don't want to harp on about United, so
No,
apologies, but it is the hot topic at the moment, right?
You get 60 more seconds and then move
Right,
on.
right. So, let me. People always ask me like, why do you hate Man United? I do not hate Man United. All right,
Nice.
I don't. I sort of do, but here's why. Here's why.
I don't.
There
I
you
don't.
go.
I
don't.
don't.
What I gotta do.
I do.
I don't care. I don't care about the club. It's not my club. My club is Aston Villa, right? But here's the thing. So Wednesday, I'm going to take this back, and it's a larger discussion. So hear me out for a minute here, fellas.
Yep.
Wednesday, my club, Aston Villa, played Manchester City, right? And we absolutely freaking dominated. We looked like the best club in the world. Man City, sorry, we beat Man City 1-0. Had no answers. They had nothing they could do to get through, and it was, in my opinion, as I said earlier, a masterclass from Unai Emery and his staff on how to beat Man City. Now, I watched every kick of that ball, right? Every freaking kick of the ball. I was up and down. Man United played at the same time against Chelsea. Chelsea, who were in 12th. Man United, who were in 6th or 7th, whatever it was on the table. So Man United won. 3-1, was it? I believe it was. I clicked in on my ride home from my dad's house to my house. I had a 30-minute, 25-minute drive through rush hour traffic. What was the number one topic that was talked about for 20 minutes? Man United beating Chelsea. And I was like, I've listened for 20 minutes now, and you've talked about Manchester United and how they're on the up, and how this is going to be so good and how it's great and what a win today. And they talked about all the positives. And I went, are you effing kidding me? Aston Villa just put a master class together to beat Man City, and it hasn't even been mentioned? It hasn't been mentioned. I was livid. I was absolutely livid. And I said, this right here is why I have problems with talking about Man United. But for the show here and with my friends who know me very well, listen, I have nothing against Manchester United. It's the fandom and the stuff that comes with it. And you're like, just, you know what? Chill the F out.
Yeah.
You won a game. You played very well. I did go and watch that game. Played extremely well. You could still see there were cracks, though. You can still see there were issues. And then that was explained. I think we all figured out that, nope, you beat Chelsea. Man United, you beat Chelsea. And just so you're aware, pretty much everybody beats Chelsea like a drum. But you played well, and then you played Bournemouth at home, and you got thumped. And it could have been 5 or 6-0.
I think it's a little everything, though. It's it's the media, right? It's
that's
English media.
Yeah.
Because listen, there's so many Man United fans. Let's just
They
say
are one of the
that.
biggest clubs in the world, and I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You know, we
But-
talk about them because they're one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Yeah,
as well.
and that's what I don't like sometimes. Is listen, Fox Sports and everyone else, ESPN does the same thing with like LeBron James and all the other sports. It's like they pick on something because they know people are going to watch and comment in and everything, and that's the annoying part. And I get it. I'm with you on that one. It's annoying. Like talk about someone else that's done well besides just that one team.
But what I don't enjoy and what I think people are losing track of is
Mhm.
it's a roller coaster of a season, absolutely.
Yes.
But when you the Sir Alex Ferguson thing, game one, he was asked after all the match day games won, he says, who most impressed you? Aston Villa were thumped 5-1 by Newcastle, and he said, the scoreline was crazy to me. He goes, Aston Villa were the best team this weekend. I can see them doing very well. What I have a problem with is people going up and down and going, well, we've solved everything. We beat Chelsea 3-1. We've put it all together. We played a great game. It's consistency, and we've been saying it on the show for weeks now. There are bigger issues at the club, and I think we're pinpointing it today with it's the players. The players aren't good enough. I think the scouting system hasn't been good enough. I think there's a lack of motivation. The club needs kind of an overhaul, and it's not. Yes, you can talk about the Glazers and all that, right? But from on the field perspective, where I personally put my thoughts and care most about, not care, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's where it is. You know, you can't be a professional soccer player playing at one of the biggest clubs in the world and put a half-assed effort in. Arambat, some of those midfielders. I felt today Luke Shaw, when it was 2-0 down, he's just kind of hoofing the ball away. He's not really trying to play. I don't know if there's a pattern of play he has to adhere to, but he was the one who gave the ball away for the third goal. It was bizarre. It is bizarre to me. So, Nate, the fact that you say you don't care,
I don't care.
trust me, I absolutely get it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you
Realistic.
used to be, the last couple of years when Man United would win, you'd watch and you'd text me and you'd say the good, the bad, and you're really into it. And now I see the texts aren't coming through because you really
blocked
don't
me?
care because I think, wait, what?
Because you blocked me.
No, I unblocked. But because I think you're smart enough and you see that there are big problems at the club and the players aren't putting the effort in, so why should you put the effort in to watch? And it comes back to the thing that you said at the beginning of the show, right? We, my club, us. And then you're like, that is my club, but those players aren't playing, so I'm not really going to get behind them and care as much as I probably would if they were putting in a great effort.
Yeah, so it's the emotional attachment thing. Like, I don't not watch them. It's not that I don't care about the team, but it is kind of what it is. It's kind of like if I were to walk through this door and every day, Brooks hit me, like in the face, right? But every day before I walk through the door, I'm like, I'm not going to get punched in the face. And then I open the door and whap, I get punched in the face. Well,
That's your
I mean,
sage
it's a
to
great
smack you
analogy,
in the
by the
you know,
way.
face.
so, like, at what point do you go, wait a minute, you're going to get punched in the face, so be prepared to get punched in the face.
Yep.
Don't think you're not going to get punched in the face. So that's what it is. I just prepare for a face punching every time I watch Man United. You're going to get punched in the face.
You need some pepper spray to blind me so
Yeah.
you can kind of like smack me. Yeah.
Well, you need something.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Brooks.
I'm gonna
I think I need very little.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm gonna
Fair
say
enough,
this.
fair enough.
I'm gonna say this. If I am a Man United supporter, if I'm in your shoes, guys, in my opinion, right now, what you should be rooting for is to finish. Then hear me out on this. You should be rooting to finish outside of the top 7. So the fact that next year you can go, okay, wait, let's take this apart and put it back together and build it the correct way, because you don't have to focus on any European competition. So it's going to give you time to maybe blood in some youngsters or come back and buy some players who can fit in and get rid of some of the dead wood. It might be the best way forward and going, you know what? It's a year away from European competition, but we're not worried about 1 year. We are worried about 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years. And if it doesn't get sorted quick, it's going to quickly lead into a bad couple of years instead of a bad 1 to 2 years. Does that make sense?
My final comment on this.
Mhm.
You know how it is. You've been there.
Absolutely been there. Relegated into the championship. Fucking horrible, man.
Yeah. And I don't think United's going to get you relegated.
No.
But you know how it is.
Yeah.
Where you just sit there and go, yeah, I like this team. I still support them. I watch them every week. But
Yep.
here comes my face punch.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's just, all right.
It's when does it stop? That's where just
Yeah.
but you kind of just accepted it at this point, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I agree. I'm gonna give you one comment on this. So my dad, brothers, and I are in a group text, and we, we're all very happy at the moment, as we said. But my dad sent one round a text message that goes, "We're on 35 points." He goes, we still need to get to that magic number of 40 points to be safe from relegation. He goes, that's what I'm really worried about. but that's what we've had to live with for the last, 20 years. It's let's make sure we get to the magic, because the magic number, if everybody doesn't know, is 40 points. If you get to 40 points, you're pretty much assured safety to be in the Premiership for the following year. So that's what we've had to live with. We've had to live with, let's make sure we get to that, mark. So as a joke, he sent that round, but it just reminds you that, wow, it can go from good to bad pretty quick and go from bad to good pretty quick.
Just one thing.
Yep.
We have a comment. John Crum says that he believes Zidane will be the manager in the next few weeks at Man United.
Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
So that's some good drinks that he's been having. And
Yeah, John, what are you drinking, my friend? I may have had whatever you're drinking last night because I was flying last night. I tell you what, though, that is. If you've got an inside source, you got to let me know where that's coming from, my friend, because I would, as someone who doesn't want to see that happen, because I think he would turn the club around. He really would. I think he's a great manager. The problem is he doesn't speak English, and that's one of the reasons he really didn't want to come to the USA in any way, shape, or form for the U.S. men's national team when they sent him an offer back in January or February, which was very silly on U.S. Soccer Federation's part. I don't think if he was offered the job, even if he was offered a boatload of money, I don't think he would take the job. I just don't see it happening.
Inside source is probably Brooks, because he is with his French managers.
Yeah, there was French managers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, man, that's interesting. Let's run down some of those scores. And the funny thing is, Danny made a prediction last week that I thought was actually pretty crazy, and then I started delving in and reading a little bit more this week, and I was like, oh, Danny might be very right. The first score is Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 2. Crystal Palace went ahead in that game. They were up 1-0. Liverpool had to come back. But after the game, Roy Hodgson has been giving some press out there, and Danny predicted that Roy Hodgson probably not going to last towards the end to the end of December, and I said that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I think he might be right. I think Roy Hodgson could be on his way very soon because Crystal Palace are in a slide, and I do not see them pulling out of this anytime soon. Granted, they've lost two of their best players in Eze and Decore to injury, long-term injury. They are effed. They're not going to have the money to spend in the January window. And if they do, are you going to let a 76-year-old manager spend all that money to bring in players? I think you're going to need a little new manager bump, as we say, as they talk about. So I can see Roy Hodgson being on his way and a new manager coming in and be giving him a couple of bucks to spend in there. Liverpool did what they needed to do. They did not play a great game. Great teams find a way in the end. Liverpool, once again, found a way. Brighton Hove Albion won. Burnley won. This played at the Amex, Brooks. This is at Brighton's home stadium.
Yeah.
Burnley have been poor. They are like a drum that everybody beats. It shows that it really does show that Brighton are struggling right now.
Maybe I got to be on that bandwagon of 40 points like you Villa fans every
Yeah,
year.
you may want to make sure you get to that 40-point mark.
We're at 26 right now,
You guys will be all right.
Yeah.
No relegation fears there.
No.
But a slide in form, as we talked about.
Yeah, maybe they get to use the money, though, in the January window. Maybe they bring some people in that they've gotten from all the transfers. So you never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they still have some of that Caicedo money that they've collected. They still got some of the they've sold a lot of players. I can actually see them. This would really hurt. I can see them selling Mitoma.
Yeah, it would be.
I think Mitoma could disappear pretty quick.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say I can see Mitoma being a Man City player, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I can see him being a Liverpool type player. I can see him heading in that direction.
Well, they have the one Japanese national team. No, that's Arsenal that has the Japanese. Don't they have a Japanese player, the Liverpool, too?
Yeah, isn't Endo Wataru?
Yeah.
He's is he a captain? Is he the captain of the
Yeah, and then Arsenal has one. So, yeah.
Yes, the left back for Arsenal. Yep.
pay a little bit more respect to my Stuttgart players.
Hey, man.
Yeah, a lot of them.
I did I?
They're
I-
great for
I
him.
called that out.
No,
I know where he came
no,
from.
You should know.
I know. I can see Mitoma heading towards the Liverpool. Probably not in the January window, most likely in the summer, in my opinion. I think Man City if they find themselves in 4th, 5th, or 6th, we'll talk about them here in a minute. I can see them going for the Napoli midfielder. Gosh, I'm going to butcher his name. I practiced it all week as well. Krišklavic. I butchered it.
Come on, no one's getting that one.
I knew it. I had it down. I was doing it in the car. I had it. Krišklavic.
No.
He is.
No one's
he
that.
is
No one's that
a
good.
£100 million midfielder. I believe he's 21 and 22. I believe they will find a way to get him to replace.
What about some of the Girona players that have? Because Girona's they beat Barca this weekend 4-2.
They did beat
I
Barca.
feel like some of those
4-2.
guys make
Girona
it.
back to the top of the league again. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Let's get back to the scores here, and then we've got, as we talked about, Man United 0, Bournemouth 3, Sheffield United 1, Brentford 0. Chris Wilder back at Sheffield United, getting the job done. Danny Heckingbottom, excuse me. Chris Heckingbottom is the last name. Let go, and Sheffield United, they're still goodbye. Have fun back in the championship. You did beat Brentford. Great job. You were at Bramall Lane. You were at home. New manager bounce. Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 1. A great point for Nottingham Forest. Wolves on a little bit of a slide. Then, obviously, as we talked about, Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Today's games, we had Everton at home against Chelsea. Chelsea beaten 3-1 midweek against Man United. They lose 2-0 to Everton. Sean Dyche, wow, pulling it together, 2-0, getting those points.
4-4-2, Craig.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
So, see, Sean Dyche, old school British manager, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to find a way to get that team to safety.
Yes.
We'll pull the table back up in a couple of minutes here. He is going to find a way to pull that team to safety. He has no one. He has a 38-year-old right back named Ashley Young right now he is operating with. He has no one at that club. It's crazy what he's doing. It's great.
So we talked about this before the show a little bit. Nate, what I want to bring this question to all of us is, so after the game, Pochettino was like, we need 2 to 3 players in the January transfer window. Who else can you bring in that would make a difference? I mean, you're either a good coach or you're not. I mean, who else can they bring in, Nate? Like, seriously.
Center backs.
Center backs?
That's what
Silva's
they need.
too old?
They've got a 38-year-old center back, Silva, right now, who's just getting torn apart.
I don't think they need. We talked about this before. I don't think they need. I don't think they need offense. I think they need defenders.
They
need center backs.
They need Nkunku to get healthy.
I think you look at their games. You know what I mean? And you look at how they're just getting overrun, offensively or on the defensive side, if you will. And I look at that and go, if you had someone to be able to right the ship, you'd be good. I mean, I'm looking here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 5 games, you got scored on by 2 or more goals.
Yeah, they cannot stop them. I mean, their goalie is not good enough.
The last 5, and then
goalie's not good enough. Their back line's not good enough. I think Pochettino's over his head.
You can't put it on the goalie, though. I mean,
not all of it. No,
because
no.
if you don't got capable center backs in front of you, you're in trouble.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think that's really what they need. They need to revamp their defensive line, if you will, and I would start with your 2 center backs, your heart of your defense that runs that.
Mm-hmm.
That might make your right and left back better. That might give your goalkeeper relief. That might actually support your midfield. Then from there, think about it and see what you need. But I would go and I would get two the best capable center backs that I could find.
I think you're 100% correct. They need to focus on the center backs and then probably the wing backs as well. I think their midfield is set. I like Caicedo. I like Enzo Fernandez. I like Cole Palmer. I like Conor Gallagher.
Yeah.
I think those 4 right there are some of the brightest young midfielders in the game at the moment. And then once Nkunku gets healthy, he can play up top. I do see them going to buy a striker at some point, maybe not in the January window, but probably in the summer. But Nate, you nailed it.
I mean,
I hate to
go
help defensively.
Full defense in the heart here, but think about it. Name me a good team that has crap center backs.
Oh my God, no, you can't. If you're a good team, you need to have center backs.
You must be really lucky if you have crap center backs.
Name me a team that scores a lot of goals with crap center backs.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And honestly, and it's like, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, when you got someone who's able to distribute the ball at the back,
Yeah.
and you're able to build,
Yep.
right? And you're able to move the ball down the field. When you got a midfield that can play back to you and give you relief, when your wingers can trust that they can go forward and carry the ball without like they're going to be a problem. Same with your midfielders. It creates an attacking mindset. and
Well,
you're good to go.
Let's
As someone
I
who
agree.
plays outside wing, I can tell you if I don't trust that guy next to my right or left, depending where I'm playing, I don't go forward. And people are like, "Well, why aren't you going forward?" Because if I go forward, this guy's gonna poop himself, and I didn't want you to have to use the beep, and I need to be there to pull his butt out of the fire. And then when I have a capable one, you see me flying up and down the field. I don't care,
Yeah.
John, Bob, Frank, whatever is gonna clean house. If I don't need to race back. I don't need to pull him out of the fire.
If you look right now at the top 5 teams in the league, they all have center backs who are solid, absolutely solid. Everybody else below that is struggling at the center back position. I mean, I don't want to keep bringing it back to United, but
What
they
is
have
part of the
Johnny
problem?
Evans.
What is
for
part of the
Christ's
problem?
sakes.
You're taking an outside back and putting him in the center because
Yeah.
you don't have a capable center back
Right.
because the one's injured.
Same with Shaw.
Yeah.
Or you're using Johnny Evans
Which
because
Which,
Sorry.
to be fair,
Varane-
Varane is
28
hurt,
years old.
right?
No, he's decided he doesn't want to play for United anymore or something. I don't know. After being a
there's
lifelong
something
fan,
going
but,
on
you
with
know,
him in the club. Yeah,
he
it's-
decided he doesn't want to play there anymore because
who knows? He just doesn't like the rain.
yeah,
Manchester
the pies.
or Eric Ten Hag's
Pies.
haircut.
They too
Or the
meaty
pies.
for him.
Pies.
The pies are brilliant. What is wrong with him? The pies in England are absolutely
I'm just
phenomenal.
saying. I'm just
right?
saying. Some people don't like the pies.
What is wrong with those people?
I don't know. They're
Remember,
crazies.
remember when Nate made us meat pies before a show?
Why
Those
don't
were
do that again?
excellent.
That was from the heart.
They were excellent.
I like when Nate makes food
Yes.
and brings it. Yeah, it's really good. I eat well when Nate decides to make food.
It's.
Nate is a brilliant chef, by the way, everybody.
I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say this. It brings me joy to bring other people joy. Okay.
You're a
And-
good dude.
And suspect depends on who you ask. I talked to just sideway. We need like a little noise for that. Ooh. I talked to several people today and yesterday it was like, yeah, can't wait to see the show today. I really enjoy watching it. And whether it's like really just 4 people, only those 4 people watching the show. We just bring joy to that 4 people and give them something to look forward to.
Well, see, I've heard that actually a lot of people like watching our show, but they think we earn millions of dollars doing this. Just an FYI. So, which we don't, but we all are driving home in our own Rolls Royces, by the way, at the end, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I brought the pink
Yes,
one
I'm
today
driving home with Rolos.
with Rolls.
Well, Danny has the
Rolos.
Aston Martin, I think, because Mr. 007.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Mr. 007.
Yes.
We do miss Danny. I wish he was here.
We do.
We do have a couple
He's
of other
not here?
scores. He's definitely not here. It's unfortunate. We do have a couple of other scores I want to get to, but I do want to say a big thank you to our partners and our sponsors. A huge, huge thank you to Soccer World, soccerworld.net. They got some good Christmas sales going on. So soccerworld.net for all of your soccer gear needs, or if you're in the Metro Detroit location, they got three locations for you to visit: Rochester, Brighton, Canton. Visit them, Soccer World. Next Level Training. Our guy, Aaron, was down in Columbus last night watching the LAFC guys, and they lost, unfortunately. But our guy, Aaron, was down there. Aaron and the Next Level Training trainers are the best soccer trainers in the country. Absolute top class guys, top class trainers. Big thank you to Dog and Pony Show Brewing. Appreciate it. Normally, I'm here drinking your beer. I got a little too drunk last night, so today I'm having to pause a little bit, and I've been drinking some flavored water. Normally drinking the Dog and Pony Show beer, though. So
Your liver is crying right now. Stop.
It is, yeah. Maybe the shakes are coming on too. Big thank you to the Michigan Jaguars. Love you guys. My kids all play in the system. Huge fans of the Jags. So thank you. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. We are going to be right back right after this Next Level Training video. Come back. We're going to talk about NCAA soccer, the Columbus Crew winning the 2023 MLS Cup, and much more.
tempo, yes, yes. Drop out, good. Yes. Touch, play, right foot, yes. Scan, good. Touch in, play, drop your hip, right. Yes, good scan. Yes. Jay, well done. Good side on touch. Play, see it, yes.
All right, guys, we're back. Thanks for sticking around. We got quite a few people who online leaving some great comments. I want to give a quick shout out, Brooks. Who we got, buddy?
Yeah, so first, Glenn and I are talking in the YouTube channel. So, hi, Glenn. Craig says hi, and so does Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Who else we got?
So we have a couple different, because we have our We Are Soccer Network Facebook page, as well as our We Are Soccer Network private page. So I'm in both here. So we got Mark Jerobi. So comment here for the Chelsea talk. Someone at Chelsea tried to sign a bunch of guys who are good on Football Manager, and we are seeing the results.
I mean, you're not wrong there, man. You're not wrong.
Do they not value center backs in Football Manager?
Apparently not.
Never played it before.
He's not wrong there,
Yes.
man.
We got Victor here. So Victor says fermented grape juice gets you drunk there, Craig. So, you know.
Yeah, there was some fermented of that and a little bit of everything else and a little bit of too much, my friend.
Yes.
I went a little nutty last night.
Yes.
My bad.
And then we got John Crum loving the show. We got Brian Hanna again saying Brighton trying to balance first time in Europe. It can hurt teams. West Ham struggled for a long time last season. I said I definitely agree with that.
Agreed.
So
Yeah, man. Good call there. Yeah, appreciate everybody watching. Throw some more comments in there. We got a lot to get to here. Let's finish off some of those Premiership scores. So as we were talking about, Everton 2, Chelsea 0, Fulham 5, West Ham 0. This game was at Craven Cottage. Fulham finding a nice little run of form here. West Ham, oh boy, David Moya is going to be under a little bit of pressure here if he doesn't get it going. So 5-0 Fulham over West Ham. Luton Town won. They were up in this game. Luton Town were up in this game. It was at home at Kenilworth Road. We know this stadium holds less than 12,000. 11,047 was the crowd today for this. Man City had to fight. Oh my gosh, fight to come back and win this game. Got a little bit lucky if we're being honest. 2-1, Man City. Great teams find a way, even with injuries. I do think they go out and spend money in the January window. I think they are still they're hurting from some of the players who have left and some of the buys they've had. Calvin Phillips, oops, they only bought him so no one else would buy him. Not a good fit. He's going to have to go find another place to play football in January, or he ain't going to be playing at all, and he won't make the Euros. So he's going to be gone. I think they'll get him off the wage book either on loan or through a sale, but I don't think they're going to recoup the £50 million they paid for him. But they're going to have to go and pay. They're going to have to go and buy someone in the January window.
Does Calvin Phillips want to play, like, just period? Like, does he want to play? Does he have a desire to actually be on the pitch?
To be honest,
Yeah.
Nate, I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, I think if the Euros weren't coming up, he would be more than happy to sit there, take his big, fat paycheck home every week, and be good where he's at. But I do think he wants to get into the Euros, and I believe he's had a conversation with Mr. Gareth Southgate, the England manager, and Mr. Gareth Southgate has told him, yeah, you need to start playing, my friend. You need to find a way to get on the pitch. And if it ain't going to be at Man City, go somewhere else. So, I don't know.
I mean, we could take him at United if he actually wants to play. If he doesn't want to play, we got more guys that don't want to play. We're good there. We're good. We have a roster full of guys who don't want to play. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah, I think you know what though? I think it would be a good pickup. The fact, but I don't think it's going to happen, right?
Never go to United.
It's not going to go from the blue half to the red half. When was the last time a player went from?
No, he's a Leeds born and bred.
Yeah,
He's
not going to go to.
He would
He's
never
not going to
go to
United. If that was his last option, do you think he'd go there? I mean, he wants to play in the Euros. He wants to represent England. From what I understand, what I'm reading, probably not. Nah, you know what? He'd be like, yeah, I'll still sit here because I don't know if United can afford him. But
I could see him going back to Leeds before he went back to United.
back to the championship.
Go back and be a hero.
I mean, he would. I don't know if he'd play. I don't know if he could play in the championship.
Probably not.
No, probably not. All right. Luton Town 1, Manchester City 2, as we talked about. Other game, Tottenham Hotspur at home 4, Newcastle United 1. Tottenham looked like they got back on track today. Richarlison with 2 goals. Heung-min Son ran the show today. Had 2 assists. Had the assist on the first one and the second one. I don't believe he assisted on the third goal. Scored the fourth, which is the penalty. Heung-min Son looks like he is up for the fight and is trying to keep that club afloat. I don't think it happens. I think we've seen the best of that club. I still think they're going to hurt until they get Mickey Van de Ven, the center back, and James Maddison. That is the 2 players they are really missing at the heart of that club. I think they right now played Newcastle at the absolute right time. Newcastle hurting. They don't have the squad depth. It's showing. Newcastle, on the other hand. Brooks, we may have to pull up the Newcastle. Who did Newcastle play in the league in December here? Who are their teams? I think they got Villa on the 30th, I think we said.
Yeah.
I wish it was tomorrow because Newcastle are hurting, and I don't see it working out well for them. Who they got coming up, my friend?
So on the 13th is a Champions League game. They play Milan. That's on Wednesday, the 13th.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Okay. They've typically done well, though, in the Champions League.
Yeah.
They've been hurting in the league a little bit. They're dropping, as we said. In the Champions League, they're doing all right.
Yes.
So we'll see where their focus lays. But go ahead.
Yeah. The 16th, they play Fulham on the Saturday, the 16th.
Fulham, who've won 2 games, 5 in a row now, 5-0. So that I'm really interested to see that game. Fulham versus Newcastle with Fulham flying high right now. Where's that game at? Do you know?
I believe that's at Fulham.
At Fulham.
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Then on the 19th, they play an EFL Cup quarterfinal match against Chelsea, so that should be a win.
That could be a win, but it'd be if they are smart. Both clubs actually would put out, we'll call it the B or the C team or some youngsters, because both these teams need to start focusing on the league.
Yep.
And they need to give these their players a rest. So that's just an added game that I don't think either of them need right now. So that's on the 19th, 3 days after playing Fulham, and a couple of days after playing PSG or Milan.
Yes.
Wow, they got a hell of a run here. All right, who else they got?
And then to finish it out, so we have the 23rd, it's Luton Town and plays at Newcastle.
Okay, I think that could be a win right there for Newcastle. They get back in way there, yep.
And then the 26th, it's Newcastle go to Nottingham Forest.
They go to Nottingham Forest on the 26th, so Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest isn't a tough place. It is a bit of a tough place to go, and if you're not in form, as Villa saw, they can quickly come away with no points. And then was it the 30th? They've got, is it Arsenal or Villa who they play on the 30th?
No, they have. They don't. They have.
No.
It was wrong. So they have on the next game is not till January 1st after the 26th.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. My bad on that one.
Yeah.
They got a little bit of they got a tough schedule and a lot of games coming up. They would be wise in that EFL Cup and even maybe in the Champions League game. Just play some different players. Focus on the league, because if not, you're about to get run out of it. All right. We're going to do a little jump here. We talked about Man United losing 3-0. They need to get a little bit of a kick. They need their next game, unfortunately for them, comes in the Champions League against a team who lost 5-1 this weekend and you'd think,
Got him on the ropes.
you think, yep, okay, we need a team like that who just got battered, and yeah, we can do the same to them, except for that team is Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich lost 5-1 to Eintracht Frankfurt. Didn't see that coming. They didn't just lose 5-1. They were demolished 5-1 by a very young Eintracht Frankfurt team. They got, in my opinion, hurried and hassled in the midfield. They couldn't find a way through, and they were just so spread out. They looked tired. But this is Bayern Munich, and if they lose another game, Tuchel, the coach, is going to be under some real pressure. I don't think they lose the next game. I think they come out and they need to show their fans and their fan base they made a mistake and they didn't quite put in the effort against Eintracht Frankfurt, and they better show the effort in the next game with Man United. Nate, little concerning the fact that it's Bayern Munich now for Man United? Or, hold on. I'm going to take the words, you don't care?
Oh no! I mean, I was gonna say if Missouri and McKenna were playing on the right side, I get whatever. We'll get like 3 goals.
Yeah,
They looked
they look terrible. They look
look
terrible on that
awful.
right side of the
They
Bayern Munich defense. They look bad.
De Ligt's injured, and yeah, they need a right back. I mean, I wouldn't start that guy. I'd put Guerrero there for the remaining and forever, or move Kimmich back there because they looked bad. They were the tripping and falling, and Neuer looked just.
Neuer looked like he was off the pace a little bit.
was
Obviously, we know he's been out for a long time.
Yeah, but he's played a few games. He's been back, so no real excuse there.
It's been country skiing enough. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
So a couple fun things. This is the second time that Munich has lost by that much since like 1964 or something like that. And
Ouch, really?
you want to know who did that to them too?
Eintracht Frankfurt?
Yep.
Eintracht Frankfurt in the last couple of years have been all right,
So
but they're
Eintracht
struggling this year.
Frankfurt, they play in one of the loudest stadiums in Europe.
Yeah, man, that
I've said
crowd
this-
was hopping for that
I've
game.
said this before. According to my understanding, I don't know because I'm not a German pundit. They hate reporting out of there because the press box shakes. It's so loud, and they can't hear themselves think it's so loud. So yeah, Frankfurt was actually knocked out of the Pokal by a Division III team. Actually, the same one that knocked out Munich.
So Eintracht Frankfurt lost to a Division III team, knocked out of the Pokal, and then on the heels of that, they get Bayern Munich, which is at home, luckily for them. But then they trounce.
They apparently took that personally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They apparently took that personally.
But that's how it is, right? In the German. In the German leagues, that's how it is. When you lose like that to a Division III team, or you get trounced 5-1 or whatever it is, that next game, you better be ready to go because your fans are going to be on you, right?
You'd expect a response, right?
Yeah, that's
You'd
the response.
You expect a response, and the fact is, Munich has to go to United. They have to go.
I was going to say, where's that game? It's at Old Trafford.
At Old Trafford,
Okay.
so a little saving grace for Old Trafford.
Yeah.
But Munich also has this record of not losing a Champions League game in a gajillion years or whatever it is. It's been a long time in group stage. That is, group stage, because everyone's going to be like, wait, they don't win the Champions League. No. They have a
They win all the games in
long-standing
the groups.
group stage record of not losing a game. I think United, if we're lucky, we draw.
I'm going to agree with you. At this point, their form is so bad.
If we're lucky, we draw.
Yeah, you're right.
Or another way to look at it is if we're lucky, we lose and we're completely out of it, and then we can focus on the league.
I got, as I said earlier, I think one of the
And I
best
mean-
things that could happen is them getting knocked out of Europe and then not even beginning next year to reassess and put everything back together. And it might be. I know it's a couple of extra pounds, money in the door when you play these games, but you're gonna you need to focus on things.
There still is some weird, wacky off chance we somehow go through. So
Really? Wow, I did not know that.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. If we win, that's 7.
Yeah.
And if Copenhagen and Galatasaray
Galatasaray?
tie, then we go forward.
That would be That would be incredible. That
So-
would be bizarre in my opinion. Maybe not something that's needed for United right now, but hey,
Yeah, we're at the bottom. It's 4. We have 4 points,
Yeah.
and then it's 5, 5, and 13. So
that may be a booster to their confidence though, to what they need. I don't know. Anyway, let's chat about some of the other results in the Bundesliga, Nate. Your Stuttgart. Your Stuttgart. I mean, you got to be happy, right? Let's
so
I want to go. I'm going to put up the table here as we talk. The Bundesliga table, my friend. But yeah, dude.
So we were talking a while back, and everyone's like, "All right, come on, they're a real team, right?" And I'm like, "No, stop. Just we're not a real team yet. You know what I mean? We're not. We don't have our big boy pants yet." Well, we tied Leverkusen today, which, for those of you who don't know, they're sitting top of the league. For those who really don't know, they haven't lost a single game all year in all competitions.
Incredible.
They're
Absolutely.
one of the few teams that have done that.
Xabi Alonso putting on an absolute masterclass at Bayer Leverkusen and really showing he is a tactician,
Right.
Just a brilliant
And
manager.
one of those games was Munich away.
Yeah.
They actually went to Munich and tied them 2-2 and looked to the better side.
Yep.
They have beat, in the span of a month, Dortmund twice, once knocking them on the cup 2-0, and once, in the league 2-1. And we're the better team both those games. So if you look at Stuttgart, you've played, one traditionally top 4 team, one currently sitting top 4 team, one. And really, you kind of got thrashed a little bit by Leipzig away. Leipzig. But outside of that, their form is absolutely phenomenal. You look at their team stats. So goals per match, they are tied for third with Leipzig and Dortmund as they sit third. Goals conceded per match, tied for fourth at 1.1. Are actually all tied for third because they're all sitting there at 1.1. Munich, Leipzig, Stuttgart, meaning they only concede like a goal per match. Average possession, they're fourth, which is still good. Clean sheets, they're sitting tied for second. So you look at everything. Expected goals are second. Shots on target per match, they're third. Big chances created, they're third. They're a solid team. Because when you look at it, everyone's going, Galarossi, their striker, well, if you lose him, you're going to be in trouble. I don't think so. I don't think so. Undav, who came from your Seagulls, is sitting there with 8 goals and is one of the top goal scorers in the Bundesliga at third or fourth. I think this is a real team. I think they're turned that corner, and just like Villa.
Yeah.
And I don't see them stopping.
Long way to go, as we said, but I
Long
mean,
way to
it's
go.
great. It's great to see. So yeah, let's just quickly go on.
We got 9 more points to make sure that we don't get relegated.
Exactly. Get to that magic 40. It might be a little lower in the Bundesliga, but let's run down that table. As we said, as you heard Nate say, Bayer Leverkusen just having an absolutely incredible season there. They're on 36 points. They're 4 points ahead of Bayern Munich, who also have a game in hand. Bayern Munich on 32 points.
They were supposed to play Union Berlin,
and that got called off because of the snow. 17 inches of snow,
it
right?
Snowed, and they don't have snow in Germany. Most time.
So you got Bayern Munich second, Stuttgart in third on 31 points, Leipzig fourth on 29 points, Borussia Dortmund, who we all expect to do a little bit better there, they are on 25 points, and then Hoffenheim, Eintracht Freiburg. Down at the bottom, Darmstadt, Mainz, and Cologne all down and struggling at the moment. Listen, the Bundesliga is fun. I want to tell everybody, start watching some of these games, man. Don't just watch Bayer Leverkusen or Bayern Munich. Watch the Stuttgart, the Leipzig, the Dortmund, the Hoffenheim, the Frankfurts. Watch some of these games, man. There's some Americans in this league as well. So pick a team, pick a outside of the Bayern Munich. Pick a team and watch them, man.
I mean, there's a young English forward that's up and coming by the name of Harry Kane. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah,
young and coming. He's cutting his teeth.
Young and
upcoming. Really getting developed down there.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is where you see a lot of the players, a lot of the good players. Go and get bought by Premier League teams. Happened all the time. Villa's the reward of 2 of them. And Liverpool has a few of them as well. But you look at
Slobischlei.
But, you know, Galarse has a $17 million release clause, and I do not see there is no way you don't take a chance on him in January.
I think there's someone who comes in and goes, we know it's 17 million, but we're going to offer you 30 because we want him.
Yep.
And we'll loan him back to you for the rest of the season.
So that would be the only hiccup, is if he somehow was like, you know what, I don't want to go anywhere. But I have to imagine, because they bought him last year, they bought him from Reigns. There's no way that you buy a player, because he was loaned last year and then they sealed the permanent transfer with a buy. There has to be a reason why he put that $17 million clause in there, and that has to be because he has ambition somewhere, some league, some team, maybe the Prem, I don't know, but his goal per minute is actually better than Harry Kane's.
Yeah, which is incredible.
Yep.
Which is incredible.
Yep.
Harry Kane, by the way, played like crap, in my opinion, against Eintracht Frankfurt. They put some handcuffs on him. He could not do anything. Every time he had the ball, he was with his back to goal. So, yeah, interesting result in the Bundesliga. We are going to keep track of that, because if Bayer Leverkusen can pull off the miracle and win that league, woo, that'd be fun. I would really like to see that. Brooks, you got your hands up, my friend?
Yeah. So, forgot Luke Zagorski, who's watching tonight.
Yeah, hey, Luke, stick around. In about 30 seconds, we're going to get to one of your favorite topics.
Yes. He just wanted saying. Remember they posted in the group that Premier League to name like over 1,000 like era players. Like, do you guys remember this when they posted it back in the group?
Not ringing a bell, but
okay. I think I saw this in the group, but. He just wants to say he wants to give a shout out. They completed a group project to name 1,100 Premier League era players.
Oh yeah,
they nailed
I remember
it this evening.
I'm pissed I didn't jump on that.
Yes, so they did it this evening. So they have done that. So Luke and the Metro Detroit soccer guys, that was great. We know our soccer here in Detroit. You know.
Yeah, man. Soccer's huge here.
Yeah.
Soccer's huge. Speaking of soccer being huge, it's really big right now for Luke and his Columbus Crew. A huge congratulations out to the Columbus Crew, who are the 2023 MLS Cup champions. They beat LAFC last night at home in the rain. Hey, man, this team, they might not have been the best team this year, all year, but when it counted, they came through and got the job done. Congratulations to Wilfred Nancy and this incredible team here. Darlington Nagbe with his 4th MLS title. Yes. Only the 2nd player to ever do that.
Yes.
So let's put some thoughts to this. Brooks and Nate, we'll talk about this game again. I know it's funny to say, but a big congratulations to Luke. I know, Luke, you went down and watched the game. I saw some pictures. You had a great time with some friends down there. That's awesome to see. I love it when you pick a club like that and all of a sudden you follow them through the years. And a couple of years ago, they were pretty bad, by the way.
Yeah.
Now they've built it back up and 2023 MLS Cup champions.
Yeah, this Columbus team, I mean, got rid of some players, Wilfred Nancy, when he came in, that were with the Caleb Porter era. You know, that Caleb won the MLS Cup in 2020. Whether you want to call it a fluke or whatnot, you won. I don't know, the season was a little weird, but I mean, a lot of these guys Caleb Porter had, and then some players, Nancy got rid of, but he really restructured this team a little differently and played a little different style. Went to a 3-back, something he did much. He did a lot in Montreal, and bring over Camacho, who was one of his big time center backs in Montreal, and move Yaboa from a winger to a wing back, bringing up some guys from Crew 2 and Mohamed Farsi, and Steven Moreira was a right back for them. And then they moved in part of the 3-back. So tinkering with the guys he had, and then bringing in guys like Diego Rossi, who was with LAFC previously. He was with the team in Turkey the past 2 years. Matan wasn't really getting much playing time under Porter, but he kind of rejuvenated his career a little bit. And then Cucho, a guy that's kind of bounced around a whole lot and just needed some stability, honestly. And then you look at a guy, get rid of Lucas Zelarayan, you sell him on, and that was kind of your guy the past couple years. I mean, they did a lot of movement and changing.
They really took apart that team and
they
put
did.
it together, didn't they?
They did. And, the 2 solid guys, I mean, so there were 3 players on that roster that were there in 2020. It was Josh Williams, Darlington Nagbe, and Aiden Morris.
Did you say there are 3 players that were there 3 years ago. Besides that, they've overhauled the roster that much.
Yeah, that's how much Caleb Porter moved things around, and then Wilfred Nancy moved things around as well.
Wow, that's a lot of movement for a club.
Yes.
In 3 years.
Yes. So, considering going up a powerhouse against a powerhouse like LAFC, which we know
won the 2022 MLS Cup final.
Yes.
I mean, beating Philadelphia in a great game, by the way, last year.
Correct.
Yeah. So that you said it, powerhouse.
Yes.
They got some players there, man.
They do, and I mean, just that first half was just all Columbus. Like LAFC could not possess the ball to save their life. I mean, on transitions, they caught them in transition a few times, but Columbus did a very good job to track, and Patrick Schulte didn't really have much to do that first half. The second half, he made a lot of big saves, but I mean, it was just tough. The LAFC could not play, and that's the high pressing style. And I know they're a little more direct, and it's not super sexy Columbus, but it works. Like, you need to be in shape and fit to play in Wilfred Nancy's system. And gosh darn it, they did. And, you know, I was a little nervous about some of the subs they brought in the second half. I was like, take out Darlington Nagbe, and you take out some guys. I'm like, man, are they going to see this through? But they did. Patrick Schulte was big for them. I'll admit, I didn't see Patrick Schulte live in college when he was at SLU, but I watched him on video, and I wasn't crazy about the kid. I thought he gives up too many rebounds and, you know, didn't have, soft enough hands, but he's done pretty well for Columbus, and it's earned him a call-up in the January camp to the men's national team, and Aiden Morris is going as well. Two 22-years.
Aiden Morris has also been called up. I'm a big fan of Aiden Morris. I think he's a nice little player, nice and tidy player. I think he's not going to be a superstar in my opinion.
No,
but a good player.
I think he can compete for a backup job, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not going to start. Nate, what do you think, bud?
What are your thoughts on the game, Nate? I know you watched it a little bit yesterday.
Screw these teams. None of them deserve to be there.
None of them deserve to be there. Yeah.
Hey, you know what though? If you're gonna lose to a team, might as well lose to the best.
I mean, that's a good way to look at it. They were the best team.
Yeah. I thought LAFC looked a little bit better the second half. To be honest with you, they came on, started playing a little bit better. That's when they knocked in their goal. But by that time, I think everything was just pretty much done and dusted. It was too little, too late type stuff. So
yep.
Yeah, it looked good. And yeah, Columbus looked good, and hats off to them. And their goals were both their goals were very, very nice, and it was a good, exciting way to finish the season before this turns into Messi Cup.
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah.
But
good way of putting that, Nate.
Yeah. Here comes Luis Suarez.
Yeah, I know exactly.
But credit to Columbus. They did well. The question is, can they repeat that the next year? That's always the toughest part, is when you win MLS Cup, can you make the playoffs, which only, I think, 2 teams have failed to do. I think that was Columbus in 2021 that won the previous year that didn't make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And I believe it was Caleb Porter as well at Portland when he won in 2015 that 2016 did not make the playoffs the next year either. So it's only happened twice or 3 times in MLS where you win the Cup and you don't make the playoffs the next year. So that's going to be the trick for Wilfred Nancy. And who else are they going to add? But this is awesome. They get to play in Champions League. They get to try to go for more, and that's important for the city of Columbus. And did you guys kind of laugh when they all booed Don Garber when they were given the trophy?
Oh, they always boo the commissioner of what sport, right? It's always the way it happens.
But listen, that team was very close to moving to Austin, and the fans and the city saved that team. And it's nice to see kind of the story turn around and happen like that. Like 2020 was special because it was happening before then to do that, but I think this one means a little more to the players and Darlington Navig and such. So,
isn't there some awesome stat too? Like since they have since Gray Berhalter decided to leave on mutual terms, they have been the most successful team within the MLS.
Yes.
Well, that's because Greg Berhalter set them up for success.
Stop it.
Set them up for future success.
Stop it.
They should be thanking Mr. Berhalter for that.
His Wilfred Nancy's win percentage is it was 60-some% better, or just in the seasons he's been there. There's some crazy stat, I forgot what it was, but it was absurd that
Brooks. There's only one reason why you like him.
Who?
Because he wears nice Nike shoes.
Nope.
Who? Wait, who are we talking about? Who?
Greg Berhalter?
No, Wilfred Nancy. There's only one reason why you like him.
Because he's awesome?
Nope.
Because he played lacrosse in college?
Nope.
Because he goes swimming every day?
Because he's Canadian?
Nope. Come on.
Because he likes barbecue?
Nope.
I don't know.
because he's French.
Oh, he is French. You're right. He was on Thierry Henry's staff and Montreal.
Are you noticing a consistent pattern with Brooks?
Yeah.
Why does Brooks like the French manager so much?
don't know.
What is that?
It's the baguettes.
The baguettes? Yeah.
I do like French onion soup, but is that more American?
No,
have
I'm gonna go
idea.
no.
I'm going to go with no as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you like
If it was called Freedom Onion Soup, then yes, it would be, sir.
Okay.
Or never, don't tread on me, onion soup.
Don't tread on me onion soup?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to the Columbus Crew, who are the 2023 MLS Cup champions. Now let's look ahead to 2024, and you have to say the strongest teams right now, you would have to say are, in my opinion, LAFC, FC Cincinnati, Inter Miami, and probably Columbus again. I know you don't want to say Miami. You don't want to say it, but they're bringing in. By the way, yes, they are bringing in Luis Suarez.
Pending any injury, it's gonna be Miami.
That man is. They've called him.
He's gonna bite a bunch of people.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do that. He is still a very good player. I can see him doing some real damage in this league. He's gonna put the ball in the back of the net. He's gonna be good.
So I
know
will
he's 35. I know it.
Yeah.
I think put it down now.
Yeah.
He could be going. Is provided he stays healthy. He'll be the top goal scorer next year. By the way.
Could be. So I'm gonna disagree with you. I don't know. LAFC have to. They lose. Kellen Acosta's out of contract. Chiellini's out of contract. Vela's out of contract.
Vela, we know, is leaving.
It's not
played
been determined yet.
I believe he's played his last game there. I think
think.
it's not
Chiellini,
been
they
100%
think.
Chiellini.
Yes.
We'll see what happens there. I did not know about Kellen Acosta being out of contract. He definitely wants to go to Europe.
Yes.
I will see what happens there.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm not sold with LAFC being back up there. That's a lot of people they have to replace. I mean, listen, I think they will, but that's a lot of talent they have to replace. I think Columbus will be a good team next year. I think Cincinnati, barring what Orlando does, they're looking to sell Duncan McGuire, their guy they drafted from Creighton. He's getting interest from European teams overseas, so you sell him and use that money to buy some players. They have some academy players coming in. Philly's going to be totally redone. No Bedoya. They're getting rid of a lot of players. So I don't know if Philly's going to be a top team in the Eastern Conference. St. Louis City, what are they going to add to their team? Because they had a great run. They need some goal scorers, I think, and they just need a few more players. But
I'm going to call it now. I think this year was a bit of a fluke for them. I think they drop off massively next year. I'll be surprised if they make the playoffs. That's how big of a fluke I think this year was.
Okay.
I think there will be a big drop off for them.
Fair enough. And then Seattle finished second in the Western Conference. No Nico Lodero next year, so he's leaving the club. He's been a steady Eddie for them for a very long time. Rui Diaz, I don't think has done too much this year for them, so Seattle's got to regroup a little bit. It's going to be interesting. I don't think there's really clear-cut there besides, I would say, FC Cincy for next year, just because they have a lot of young guys that aren't in their, have aged out or whatever. And I think Columbus is up there. So I think the two Ohio teams are going to be very competitive.
Cincinnati needs help because I think Brandon Vasquez is gone.
On your bike.
I think
Sure.
he's gone.
That's the rumor that they're going to sell him, and I believe so.
They also need a right back.
Yes.
And they also have to hold their butt cheeks and pray that they can get Marquez, the center back from Wolverhampton that they had on loan.
To buy him.
To buy him or do something if he's willing to come back.
Yeah.
And hope that Barry L doesn't go anywhere.
Correct.
So you got two guys that are foregone conclusion. I mean, on the positive, Lucio Costa basically runs that offense, and he ain't going anywhere.
Correct.
On the positive, you got Matt Miazga, Defensive Player of the Year, so long as he doesn't eat pizza and walk into a roughing locker room.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
pretty damn good. And on the positive is you got MLS Coach of the Year. So there's a lot of positive there, and there's a lot of question marks. But yeah, we'll see.
They're one of the top teams right now.
Yeah, and
as we
fine,
talk about
fair enough.
2024.
And it doesn't matter because Inter Miami is going to win it all because it's super Miami going on. So it's awesome.
To be fair, they will be a contender next year in Miami. They will.
Yep.
They will. I don't want them to win because I don't like when teams just buy players and do this shit. But it is what it is.
Whoa, calm down over there, Brooks. Calm down over there. All right, let's kind of segue into the MLS Super Draft is coming up, but we haven't finished with the NCAA tournament yet. We are from Final Four down to the Final Two. It's Clemson versus Notre Dame. Brooks, tell us a little bit more about those. How we got where we're at now, when that final game is, and where can we watch this at?
Yeah, so I believe it's on ESPNU. They're going to show this. The college for ESPN,
Yep.
they tend to do that. Notre Dame beats Oregon State 1-0. Oregon State didn't have their head coach because of yellow card suspension, accumulation suspension, and then have their starting defensive mid as well. So close game though. I mean, listen, Notre Dame. The Final Four, I would say, probably had the two best goalkeepers in probably,
In the country?
yeah, with Jackson Lee with West Virginia and Brian Dowd for Notre Dame. You can see Brian made a ton of huge saves for Notre Dame against Oregon State. So when you go into a championship game with a solid keeper, you're always going to be in the game. And then Clemson. I watched the whole of that game. I didn't watch the whole of the Oregon State Notre Dame game, but Clemson's a good side. They move the ball. They have big boys, internationals mixed with domestics, very technical players, got speed. Where just Notre Dame's very, I don't want to say conservative, but they're very structured, well-defensive team, play as one, and that's always been their MO since Bobby Clark was coaching them back in the day. So this game,
they've played. So it's Clemson versus Notre Dame in the final.
Yes, two ACC teams.
They've already played each other this year, correct?
They have.
What was the result there?
So in the regular season they played, but I think the one that really rubs them the wrong way, especially this Notre Dame team, is when Clemson beat them in the ACC tournament. So and Notre Dame won the ACC this past year.
Tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to beat a team twice, let alone three times. So let me ask you this: Clemson, Notre Dame. Clemson won the first one. Yeah. Does Notre Dame take this one? Are they going to beat Clemson for the final here? Are they going to be the 2023 NCAA champions, or does Clemson pull it out?
I think, in my opinion, I'm going to say that Notre Dame's going to take this one. So they were back there in 2021. Mm-hmm. They lost in the College Cup. So they lost in the Final Four. A lot of these players, I think there's 8 or so of them that are from that 2021 squad. So they've had the experience. They have, they've gone through the ups and downs of everything ever since that 2021, College Cup. I think that Notre Dame's going to come away with this win. And by the way, Notre Dame did beat Clemson during the regular season 3-2.
Okay.
Oh,
so it's 1-1 right now. So this will be the rubber match.
It is. This is the rubber match. So I think a well-structured team in this instance, because you only have 3 days. It's a turnaround. It's a quick turnaround of 3 days. Mm-hmm. I think Notre Dame can do this, and I think they beat Clemson.
Interesting. All right. Put your money on Notre Dame, folks. You heard Brooks say it. And if Clemson actually wins, you can go ahead and write him and ask for a refund. He will probably not give it to you, but that's okay. All right. We got a lot to get to, a lot more to get to. As you heard us talk about earlier, Barcelona beaten 4-2 by Girona, top of the league. Girona again. We are going to come back and talk about that and a couple of other things. We'll be right back.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just going to do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
South America. Ooh, wow, that's not MLS. Cool.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump.
Next in line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin, you know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
All right, as you heard us talk about there's I won't say a new leader. They're back on top in the Liga. Girona pulling off a stunning result today, beating Barca. Here we go. Here's the table for La Liga. Girona, after 16 games, they've got 13 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. It's incredible, to be honest. 41 points. Real Madrid in second after 16 games, 12 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss, 39 points. Jude Bellingham scored again for Real Madrid. It's getting pretty consistent. The sun comes up, the sun goes down every single day and every single game. Jude Bellingham proves he's one of the best players in the world and scores a goal. Atletico Madrid behind in third. Barca in fourth on 34 points. Barca now on 34 points, 7 points out of first. 16 games, 10 wins, 2 losses, 4 draws. I tell you what, Xabi needs to get it going here. He's going to find himself out of a job because that's not good enough for Barcelona. Real Sociedad in 5th, Athletic Club in 6th, Real Betis, the club who tied Real Madrid today, 1-1, find themselves in 7th. Down the bottom, Almeria, Granada, and Celta Vigo. I think pretty much we can say those are the 3 that are getting relegated. Goodbye, Celta Vigo, Granada, and Almeria. Again, I tell you what, though, if you're interested to know how Girona are pulling this off, we have a great article on our Substack, and it's also, we'll make sure to post it again into the Facebook group, written by a good friend, Archer. He breaks down what's going on at Girona and how they are doing this because no one saw this coming. Yes, Brooks?
Comment by Luke Zagorski. Bellingham should go to Girona. #championship.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Listen,
Yeah.
I think just as you heard me say about Aston Villa, you heard Nate say about Stuttgart, and just with the same with Girona, all 3 clubs right now are doing something very right. They're doing it well. They're performing at a high level. None of those clubs have proven they can do it over the course of a season. All 3 are doing it over the course of 15 and 16 games. There's a lot more soccer to be played. Girona, I mean, if I ask you right now to take $5,000 of your own money and bet Girona to win the league, would you do it? Probably not. You're thinking Real Madrid's going to come and do it. They're going to come and win the league because they've done it before. They've got the experience. They got a manager who knows how to do it. Same with Manchester City in England. Same with Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. These clubs are, in the beginning of the season, not quite where you want them to be. You wait until the last 6 to 8 weeks of the season, and that's when they turn it on. They turn it on in the second half of the season. That last final kick, it's a marathon, right? It's a marathon, but in the last part of the marathon, that's when the kick comes. That's when the sprint comes. That's what these clubs are good at doing. I don't think Real Madrid right now are very worried that they're in second. I don't think they're worried at all. They're working some kinks out. They're getting some players back healthy. Wait till the end of the year. Girona, phenomenal what they've done so far. Don't get me wrong. I think they drop off towards the end of the season. Again, Archer wrote a brilliant article. Go ahead and find our Substack or find it on the Facebook group. We'll see if we can post that again.
Or subscribe.
Or subscribe to the Substack. 35,000 subscribers. Get a nice article every couple of weeks from We Are Soccer there. So subscribe to our Substack. You know what? I think we've got pretty much all the soccer wrapped up. Why don't we do a little bit of Wheel of Randomness?
Yay.
All right. So, folks, if you've never joined us before, Wheel of Randomness is we've got a wheel. Brooks is holding that wheel right here, said wheel. We've got things written on there. We spin it, and then Brooks reads it off, and then we answer the question or whatever else could be on there. So, you know what we need to do? We need to make some music or something for Wheel of Randomness, right?
We do. We need to get the audio going.
We need to get that audio going. I could play it. It could be
I got it. Go ahead, spin it, and I'll do the.
All right, spin that wheel.
Too legit to quit. Hey, hey, too legit. Too legit to quit.
All righty. Here we go. Pancakes, French toast, or waffles, and why?
Ooh. I'm going to go on this one first. French toast, absolutely. Love me some French toast with some maple syrup. Yeah, that just beats out the others.
He looks disgusted.
I don't want any of this.
You don't want any of that?
No,
Really?
No?
I'm not a fan of any
What,
of these.
all right, what's your breakfast? What's your breakfast of choice?
My breakfast of choice is the same thing I eat every single day.
Chicken?
Two eggs,
2 eggs?
4 egg whites,
4
3 pieces of wheat toast.
That's what you eat every single day?
Olive oil spray, put on the toast, Little Caesars, Italian seasoning put on the toast.
Wow.
Do it
Okay.
and tell me I'm wrong.
I
Do
want-
it.
I want French toast.
I do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Maybe when you're over one day. Brooks, what do you got out of all that? What are you eating?
Pancakes. I love me some blueberry pancakes with some nice blueberry compote sauce. Oh yeah, and some bacon.
So
My next question was going
sorry.
to be
sugar.
my next question was going to be what side do you have? Do you have bacon? Do you have sausage links? Do you have grits?
heart attack.
Like heart attack. What
Some wheat toast as well.
Oh yeah, I like some wheat.
God,
toast.
yeah, to balance out all the death that you just put on your goddamn plate.
Well, I think we've learned a lot about Nate today
Yes.
and what he eats. So
My
if you ever have him
God.
over and you want to make him breakfast, you
Yeah.
know what to do. Just reference
Just
this video.
pour sugar on a plate and call it good, I guess.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Eh.
Here's your sugar and extra carbs.
Yeah. But don't forget the coffee, Nate, as we talked about.
Oh, the coffee's
Two
great.
cups, two
With-
cups of coffee, right?
Yeah, 2 creams and some sugar. For me.
Okay, spin, please.
Spin that wheel for the next question. Let's go. One
You
last time.
spin me right round, baby,
I
right.
like that song. Yeah. You sing that pretty good. We might actually get shut down by YouTube. That's
Oh,
so
no.
it's so on par right there.
Okay.
What do we got?
Let's see. Which one of us is most likely to end up on a reality TV show?
Cop's still on?
Is what a
Cop's
cop?
still on?
Barring cops.
You see, officer, my team just won the league.
That's why I have this trophy
That's
and I'm
why-
running around naked with a beer as well.
That's why I have this Villa shirt on.
Yeah.
Stop tasing me.
Villa win the league. I'll definitely be going to jail. Trust.
Stop tasing me.
Oh my word.
Where's Craig? He's streaking.
He's streaking again with a fake premiership trophy.
That was like
in
3
one
months
hand.
ago.
So he'd be like Will
Still
Ferrell.
doing it.
He'd be like
Still
Will
doing
Ferrell in
it.
old school when he's streaking down the middle of the
Streaking
road.
the quad.
Going streaking.
Fine. Frank the Tank.
Yeah, exactly. Who is most likely to end up on a reality show?
Yeah. Or maybe
Man,
have our own reality show too.
I think that's a toss-up, to be honest, between Nate and I.
Wow.
Sorry. I think that's
See, I was
gonna
going to go another route. I was going to go Danny.
Yeah?
I was going to go Danny
Yeah.
on like a dating show.
Huh.
Yeah.
However, I
Now
don't think
he's,
that's an option anymore.
now he's in a relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Not that we're all sad about that, but
No.
I think that reality show.
well,
would've
I
been-
mean,
he could be like he could be on The Bachelor, right?
I'm a little sad. I miss me some Danny time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Just
spends a
snuggle.
lot of time with his new girlfriend.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
just taking
And
all my,
working. Oh,
I know.
taking all my snuggle time. It's ridiculous.
Well, now that Man United aren't doing well, you guys don't really want to snuggle too much either.
No.
Well, comfort. Someone needs to be comforted.
True.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah.
what reality show would we be on, Craig?
I think that's a good question.
Outside of Cops.
Outside of Cops, I don't know too many reality shows. I mean, I would say The Real World, if that was still around, we'd all live in a house drinking beer and causing
it is.
mischiefs.
I think it is.
We could bring back the MTV Real World. Could you imagine the four of us watching soccer, drinking,
that would be the
going
most,
out partying?
the most boring show there is
Really?
on TV.
You think so?
4 dudes just sitting in a place, drinking beer, saying very little with the TV on. Because, like, somebody be like, well, I'm going to shh. Game's on. Game's on.
Shush. Hey.
Shut up. Shut up. Game's on. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Everybody shush.
Watch it. Shut up. Shut up. And then, like, every, 15, 20 minutes, somebody's like, ah! And then back to nothing. Just back to nothing.
I don't know. When I watch a game, I'm on every pass. Like, what are you doing? Pass it to the right. There's a man open on the wing. What are you doing?
Oh, you're one of those people.
Oh, I am. Oh, and then when my team scores, ah!
So not just at your kid's game.
I'm not really that. I'm a little. I do a little bit at my kid's game. Brooks.
So yeah, I would say definitely it's one of you two. So I'm gonna say this. So it's not a reality show, but like to host a show,
Ooh.
Danny, Jesse Palmer does like the cooking shows, the guy that does this college football analysis for
Yeah.
he's got good hair and whatnot. Danny's definitely a host of like some Food Network show.
That's a good point.
And then same with Nate. Nate's like Chopped. Like we're gonna get rid of the guy that does Chopped right now, and Nate's now the host for that.
Hold on, I got a special guest that I'm talking to right now.
Okay.
Someone who may now be in the time zone just for a short time. So I'm gonna give him a shout out. Gavin Duffy,
Oh.
my
Mr.
second
Gavin
my
Duffy. How are you, sir?
my second dad, said Danny Toley, Love Island.
Love. Oh, nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
We have a few comments as well. So
All right, throw those comments out there, my
okay,
friend.
so Glenn Hearn thought I'd definitely go with French toast. I do like French toast, but not as much as pancakes.
Mm.
Let's see. Katie Kicking It with Katie
Kicking It with Katie.
podcast.
Great podcast. Check
I don't,
that out,
honestly,
folks.
if she's not saying we are Sparta after every game, I don't know how many times I need to say this. That should be the thing you're saying. Win,
Yep.
lose, or draw. And then you need to kick someone in no hole after you say it.
She says Nate on the challenge.
What is the challenge?
What is the challenge? Yeah, I don't know what this is.
I think it's like a competition reality show.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
Oh, I'm great at competitions.
We got to look this up.
Because I am very angry and I will not let you win.
Speaking of which, we still have to do our running race. Is it the 40-yard? What do we do?
I will not let you win.
The beep test. We're doing the beep test. Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
do the beep test.
We're doing the beep test. We're gonna have to do that soon. Yeah. Okay. What other comments?
And
we
then the
got?
last one, Luke Sikorsky, chicken for breakfast. What is this?
That's what I thought.
Chicken and waffles is good. I like
yeah,
chicken
I
and
know.
waffles.
That's what I thought Nate was gonna say. I thought Nate. He eats a lot of
Every
chicken,
time
right?
I get it, and I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. It's
No.
too much. It's too rich. It's
Yeah.
too much syrup and stuff and junk, and I just can't do it.
I get it. I know. I got to change
apologize.
my healthy eating habits as well. But I
If you had wheat toast on there with olive oil spray, a little
Little
Caesar seasoning,
Huh.
and maybe every now and then, little everything bagels. You know,
I'll be honest with you. I can't remember the last time I had pancakes because I do smoothies every morning, like healthy smoothies before work. So I'm
So-
getting into that.
So you do smoothies every day for work, for
Before.
breakfast before work.
Yeah, or take it to work. Yeah.
Okay. And
yeah.
Nate does 2 eggs, 4 egg whites,
Yep.
some toast,
Yep.
with random seasoning stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And my breakfast every
You drink
morning.
a beer?
I mean, I wish. If I didn't have to go to work, I probably
Pills.
would. I
Wake up,
I actually
crack the
don't eat.
pills.
I don't eat breakfast. I usually just skip breakfast and have 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
They call that the hip people call that intermediate fasting. So
I just call
you're
it
not-
laziness.
You're not skipping breakfast, Craig. You're intermediate fasting.
Yeah. I like. And then on the weekends, I have a bowl of cereal, Life cereal,
that's your
with a
cheat
cup
day.
of tea. With a cup of tea. Yeah.
Weekends are your cheat day. Monday through Friday, you're intermediate fasting.
Yep. I like that. All right. Big thank you to our partners and sponsors. Thank you to Soccer World. Visit them at soccerworld.net. Thank you to Next Level Training. There's a reason the LAFC made it to the finals. It's because Kellen Acosta is such a great player, and he trains with Next Level Training. So you know what's going on there. You can see, right? I don't have to spell it out for you guys. Big thank you to Dog and Pony Show Brewing. Again, I would be drinking the beer today, except for I had way too much last night. So taking a day off. Appreciate you, boys. We're going to be out there in the next couple of weeks again. Thank you to Dog and Pony Show Brewing. Thank you to the Michigan Jags. Love the support you guys show us. Love the fact, by the way, my kids both played Jags 5 today, indoor futsal. I'm a big fan of futsal because I love little intricate plays and how quick the kids have to move their feet. Kids might not like it, but I do because it makes them better players when they get onto the bigger pitch. So big thank you to the Michigan Jags.
That's all that's important. That I like it. I gotta be paying the damn bill.
Exactly. I'm the one that pays for it. I'm the one who likes it. But anyway, big thank you to our partners and sponsors. Appreciate it. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Danny, we missed you. Hopefully you're back next week. Come back to us. We miss you, my friend. We miss you. I know we'll have a lot to talk about. And for me and the boys here in the studio, we'll see you next week.